Welcome, welcome. I am so glad you are here today. I'm so glad to see everyone who is on our Zoom room. What a joy, what a blessing to see you in community right now in this moment. And to those of you who are watching this in the future, hello, and we welcome you. Whether this is your first time here or you've been a longtime member of the Creative Spirit community, we welcome you here. So I'm so excited you're here for two reasons. One, today we're going to talk about your creative child and nurturing that creative child within you. So we're going to be welcoming in that energy of creativity, of play, of nurturing ourselves in all aspects of our being. And the second thing that I'm really excited about is today we're going to be making a mess in our art journals. So I hope you're ready for messy, creative childhood play. I'm seeing big smiles in the room, so I'm glad you are as excited as I am. Yeah, I've got my neon glitter glue here, so you know it's a good day for play when the neon glitter glue comes out. I'm going to share with you some other materials that I have, but today is really an anything goes kind of mixed media mess day. We're going to lean into why that is and how we're going to allow this to unfold in our journals. So welcome, my friends, to Creative Spirit Gathering. This is your place for exploring and expressing in an art journal format what's on your mind and your heart. I am your host, Jen Hutchins. I'm founder of Unity Arts Ministry, and our mission at Unity Arts Ministry is to inspire transformation through creative expression and spiritual enrichment. We are a nonprofit organization making programs like this one offered on a donation basis, so anyone can join in at any time, no matter their life circumstances, whatever. We want you here. We want you here, and this program is made possible through our sponsors and through donors like you. You can give online at our website at unityartsministry.org. You can also find our mailing address on there if you prefer paper checks. You want to come visit me and bring me cash in the studio, we can arrange that too. We make it easy for you, right? We're willing to go that extra step for you. For those in the Zoom room, I'm going to go ahead and put those links right in the chat bar, so you have easy access at your fingertips. So thank you in advance for the many ways that you as our community support our mission. We have been leaning into Julia Cameron's book, The Artist's Way. And today, the little piece of inspiration that I wanted to pull from this is this quote right here. We're going to get started with it. Jump right in. She says, "The essential element in nurturing our creativity lies in nurturing ourselves." The essential element in nurturing our creativity lies in nurturing ourselves. She goes on to say that through self-nurturance, we nurture our inner connection to the great creator. And earlier in the book, if you haven't been reading, or this is your first time here, earlier in the book, she talked about this idea of the great creator as being what some might refer to as God. Others might refer to as the divine, the universe, Mother Earth, whatever it is, that higher power, right? That sense of something that is bigger than my personality, that higher sense of self. So as we are nurturing our creativity, it's not just this, small self nurturing that we're talking about, but we're also talking about that capital S, our higher self nurturing. And as we're doing this, it means that what we're doing here together in our art journals is not just about this 1 hour of creative play. It's not just about opening up to greater creativity on the canvas or, writing our next novel, whatever that might be for you. It means we are also tapping in and deepening our spiritual connection. And that's really what this is all about, because it becomes this wholeness of being, this wholeness of expression of self. So what does self-nurturance look like for you? That's what we're going to be leaning into today, right? Julia Cameron says self-nurturance is the key for our creativity and also our spiritual growth. But what does that look like for you? So we're going to lean into that. But first, I want to show you one of my journal pages. This is one of those journal pages that I like to call a hot mess kind of a journal page. This is one in which there was zero planning. Now, as an artist, you know, who was taught to sketch out your ideas first with your thumbnail sketches, and then to choose the best composition, and then to work out your lights and your darks, and then you put it on the canvas and, you know, work through it and add in your details, right? There are all these like rules and processes with art to get to like the end results, like an intentional end result. On the art journal pages, I let go of all those rules. And it's taken me some time to break down some of them because they're so ingrained. But when I allow myself these kind of days where it's just, I'm going to let myself just be free on the page, make a mess, so much comes through for me. Sometimes what comes through is the positive self-talk that I can do this, I've got this, it doesn't matter. And other times I look at a page like this and I start judging it. What was the point? What is that? Is that even like, I know when I created that, that was supposed to be a bird, right? But I look at it now and I'm like, is it like a leaf with a beak? I don't know. I get into that like self-critical mode. So what I want to do is acknowledge the places in our lives, especially around our creativity, where we tend to get into that self-critical inner judgment, inner critic mode, and turn it a little bit so we begin to be more gentle, kind, and nurturing of our inner artist, and to then look at and pull out, what does that nurturing look like? What does that feel like? So this is what we're going to kind of explore a little bit today. So I want to ask you now, first of all, right, put things aside for just a moment. If a child came up to you and showed you this artwork, a child, let's say 4 years old, right? They're capable of smearing paint. They're capable of gluing, scribbling. So 4-year-old comes up to you with great enthusiasm and says, look what I made. Check it out. Look what I did today. What would your response be to that child? Now, I'm looking in the room, right? Okay, so first of all, for those of you who are like watching this on record later, you're not going to see what I see in the room, but this is what I see in the room, right? There's great enthusiasm, wiggling fingers, smiles, right? For this 4-year-old's art. Most of us are wired for compassion around children, for kindness, for gentleness. We might look at this and say, wow, you explored some new things today. I love the colors that you use. I can see your self-expression coming through. And those of us who have been doing this for a little while, we might ask questions like, how did that feel? How did it feel to smear that paint with your fingers? How did it feel to put the glue on the page and watch things stick to it? Or was there a story behind what you created? So we might invite these questions of the child. Now, flip this around, you yourself right now, right where you are, you go to a workshop. Maybe it's a mixed media workshop. And you come out of that workshop and this is what you've created. I'm seeing already, right? The faces, right? Backing up, right? Maybe we're not so proud of this artwork for ourselves. For the 4-year-old, though, we're all like, yeah, you did it, you go. And for ourselves, that critic starts to come in. Is that even a bird? Who am I to think that I can draw? What was I thinking? Do those colors even go together? We start questioning, we start judging our artwork. And even if it was the first time we ever did it, or we go to a pottery throwing class, and on our first time ever, we come out with this wonky, wobbly looking thing, and we judge ourselves. Who am I to think that I could have done this in the first place? Look how terrible this is. Look at the pottery that's up on the walls from the real potters. We judge ourselves and we compare. But what I want us to do is to recognize those as old records. Those are old records that are playing, that are saying, I can't, it's not enough, I need to judge, I need to criticize, because in truth, every creative expression that you do is just as important as that piece that that 4-year-old did. And I want us to begin to look at our creative play, our creative opportunities to express ourselves through whatever media it is, just as we would nurture and support a child. Because in fact, our artist, that inner creative sense of us, it is as innocent and pure as a child. And it's wanting to express itself, to be heard, to try new things, to explore new modalities. And yet we limit based on these past experiences. And one of the joys of leaning into our creativity in this way and leaning in to our spiritual truth is that we get to empower ourselves. We get to rewrite this story. I'm thinking of the Apostle Paul, who said, "Be ye transformed by the renewal of your mind." So if you have an old record that is on loop that tells you you can't, we're going to renew and transform through new words, new thoughts, and new actions towards ourselves that are self-nurturing instead of self-sabotaging when it comes to our creativity. So today, what I want you to do with your art journals is intentionally allow yourself to make a mess, to play with materials that just sound like fun, to, during our time of meditation, ask your inner artist child, what would you like to do today? What sounds like fun to you? And I want to give you this invitation too. If your inner artist child says, I need to rest and you need to slow down, let yourself slow down, right? Maybe it's just scribbling with a pen on the page and just sinking in to the moment. But maybe your inner child is like full on rambunctious, so excited about this opportunity to make a mess on the page and not be judged for it, that you want to pull out all the materials you can. And if that's you, I want to show you what I pulled out today. I pulled out some colored pencils for writing, for getting some background stuff on there. I pulled out some paints, my Golden Flow paints, my fluid paints, and then also some just like craft acrylic paints. I showed you, I have my neon glow in the dark glitter glue. I don't know why I love this stuff so much. It came from like a dollar store or something. My husband picked it up. I have my Elmer's glue stick. And I went through the kitchen and also figured out, like I found some things that just had some like textures that seemed like fun. So this is some millet. Just essentially like you could feed it to the birds, but also makes a good little morning porridge. But go around your house, right? I've got stickers and scrap papers and all sorts of little doodads that I pulled aside to play with today. So allow yourself to have fun, right? After our meditation, just go around your house and be like, what does my child want to play with today? What feels like fun? And like smush it all on the page. The only like rules, if there are rules to it, is that you want to, if you put something down that has like a heavy oil base, like crayon or something, and then you put water base on top of that, it might push it off. So just be aware of, as you're making your mess, how the materials are going to lay on top of each other. But again, Maybe you want to break those rules. See what happens. What happens if I push this a little bit? What happens if I try to put water on top of oils? See what happens, right? Allow yourself to play with this today. This is a no rules kind of experience. And other than to let the inner child have the free reign to jump in and to explore. So are you all ready? You ready to jump in? So our question that we're going to sit with during our meditation today is, what thoughts, words, and actions nurture your artist child? What thoughts, words, and actions nurture your artist child? So as you are allowing your inner artist to make a mess on the page, to play on the page, let this question sort of be in the background for you. So as you're smearing your paint and gluing your millet and doing whatever it is on the page, think about moving forward. How am I nurturing the artist child within me? See what comes forward for you on the page. Sort of an intuitive play with your spiritual self, with your artist self, with your child self, seeing what happens, what unfolds on the page as we allow ourselves to do this without judgment. Without judgment. All right, so let us move into our time of meditation. This moment right now is self-nurturing. We allow this moment to help center us. We allow this moment to listen to our inner artist child. We allow this moment to let go of any limiting beliefs, any old thought patterns that were holding us back as we lean into the truth of our being, that we were born divinely creative. So we gently rest our eyes, we rest our bodies. Perhaps we feel our feet flat on the ground. And we take a deep breath, relaxing and renewing with every breath as we center in for a moment of silence. On the next breath, we gently begin to bring our awareness back to this now moment. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, gently open your eyes. As we turn our attention now onto our journal, as we explore through messy, creative play, what thoughts, words, and actions nurture your artist child. Have fun, my friends, and I will see you again soon.